Hi, and welcome to the Moments. I have a special episode. We have people again, finally. This one's really special to me because this is a comic, this is a comedian, this is a friend of mine named Pamela Zabala. Did I say it right?
You did not say it right.
Oh.
It's okay though because
Okay,
most
pronounce.
people don't. Most people don't.
How do you
It's
pronounce your name?
Zabala because Pamela's.
Zabala?
Yeah,
Pamela Zabala.
yeah.
Alright. She's a comic. Honestly, the funny part about you is that you're a comic and within the first year that's so strong, but so very talented. You're from Durham. Well, you're not originally from Durham, but I met you actually not even in your city that you're at. So I
No.
met you on a showcase,
Yes.
and then I was like, "Oh, you're really funny. Keep going. I love you." And I don't know if my courage and words helped or not, but end of the day, I met
They
you,
did.
and I was like, "Oh, really? Thanks."
Yeah.
This is about you, so let me just get your intro out. So I met you, and then the wildest thing is, like, you had this little bit of a flame, and you light that bitch up. Within a year, you have been all over North Carolina, and you also have been in New York and back. I
Yes.
also was kind of trying to get you back in Boston, where you're naturally from, but hey, it's okay. Also, you are becoming a doctor, so I could be Dr. Samada soon.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Y'all
Yes.
welcome to they, them, him, she, whatever your pronouns go by. This is the moment. Oh,
Yay! I'm so
aren't you
excited
rather
to
call
be
you
here.
Mama? I'm gonna say that you're here too. Honestly, I am so excited to have you here. It's been like 3 years in the making.
It has. It
I've
has.
I've been trying my best to get so many guests on here, and when I say it's funny because it's comics mainly, or people that have podcasts, because it's more
Hmm.
important for us to cross promote, cause like
For sure.
cross promote and everything. Because you know your podcast. What's your podcast called again?
My podcast is called Social Deconstruction with Pamela Zabala.
Oh, so smart, so education. This is the moments with me, Jamaica Lando. Because you know, the with two E's is an extra spot. But also, you are the moment. How's life been recently?
Life has been a little stressful, very busy, but I always like to say I'm stressed but blessed.
Stressful
Stressed but
less?
blessed.
I respect stressful less. I have been going through a new awakening. I've been embracing the moment.
Okay.
So, what's a recent thing that you've learned to be like in the moment with?
I recently went to a concert. I went to see Lizzo, and
Oh my God, Lizzo.
yes, the Lizzo, which was also the moment. And I made a very
She is.
conscious decision to not have my phone out during the concert and just exist and take it in and feel all the
Oh,
things that I was feeling. As because people pull out their phones and they try to record the whole concert, and I feel like they're not experiencing it and they're not living in present with the artists and taking in
that's
what's
true.
going on. So I feel like I enjoyed it way more than I was expecting to because I just allowed myself to be present.
Mm,
And it was such a good
I.
show.
Oh, it was good.
It was
Oh.
so good.
What's your classic? What's your top five for Lizzo songs that you wanted to hear?
Oh
Even
my
if you didn't hear
gosh.
that night, you were like, "These are my repeats."
Okay, my repeats are "Cause I Love You."
Oh,
Um, I know. I like her slower songs, so "Cause I Love You," Jerome, um, "Naked" off the new album.
oh,
Um, I really like "Juice." It's like my pep up song.
and juice
And
is the juice.
then the song that I love of hers that makes me really emotional, and the one that made me emotional during the concert, is off the new album, and it's "To Be Loved."
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah.
This podcast is about millions of moments. So there's several moments that, like we always focus on. There's big
Hmm.
moments, small moments. Like you graduating, you getting becoming a doctorate, you having a doctorate is a major moment.
Hmm.
Which all these mini moments got you that major moment. But also, what's a mini moment that you've like been cherishing like kind of for a while?
A mini
It could
moment
be a
that I've been
first kiss,
cherishing for a while.
anything.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I didn't know if I had to kiss and tell.
it's not kissing and telling. It's kind of like developing because we're friends, and also like
True,
everyone
true.
here, all the people listening are like big, big friends. And so it's
True.
kind of like you're just saying all these amazing things. I had a feeling that was going to
Yeah.
happen. When you're on your
So
laptop and you're
little
supposed to be
little
like
moments
not
that I
on Facebook at
cherish.
all.
Yeah, little moments that I cherish are. Have you ever, like, after a show and you've done a set and like someone in the audience or a complete stranger comes up to you and there's like, "You did a really good job. You made me laugh." Those are
Really?
the tiny. I
Yay.
love those tiny little moments so much. And I had one recently that really stuck with me because it was this lady who looked like she was not into the show at all. Like, she was not really reacting. She was just kind of minding her business. And she came up to me afterwards and she was like, "You were really funny. You made me have a good time. I laughed. I thank you." And that I've been holding on to that because those make you feel good after you
It
say
does.
the things that you say on stage.
Yeah, we see a lot on stage.
We
Ooh,
say a
that's
lot
a
on
lot.
stage.
I really do. I love that we do though. It's kind of the most like unapologetic thing about people is that
Yeah.
it's really welcoming when any person compliments you off your set and they
Hmm.
talk about you, what happens in your set, because they're like, I don't know, it's weird. We're both real true people, so
Hmm.
most of our set is about real thought processes that we've had.
Right. Right.
So after most of my set, sometimes they were like, "So how's your boyfriend?" And I'm like, oh, he's in
um.
the set. This is
Yeah,
not
he's
meant
in
for
the set.
us."
Right. This is not a conversation we're gonna have.
I mean, I don't
If
want
I
to
can
have
share
this with you.
another
I don't
little
know you.
moment. Right. If I can
Mm-hmm.
share another little moment. Something that has also stuck with me. Also happened after a show, but someone told me, "I can tell that when you're on stage, it's not a character. It's just you." And that was really special to me because I was like, "Yeah, it's just me. Like, truly. Thank you. Like that. I love that that comes through when I'm on stage, and I think it comes through for you too because you're like very much yourself. And I
Yeah.
think I think some people try to put on characters or try to put on. Sure, it's a heightened version of themselves, but it's almost like a caricature of themselves. Whereas I think you're someone who's very natural in yourself. And I was originally told that you can tell it's just me on stage and not something I'm trying to put on.
It's true. I've developed both parts. Sometimes
Hmm.
when something's fresh, it's like all right, but also like I
Yeah.
do characteristics about myself. Like I'm very
Hmm.
bubbly, but like
Right.
it's on it's on the same level. I
Right.
believe in that.
Hmm.
And before we get into anything else, how's your writing process going?
My
Any
writing
new jokes
process
you've been
is.
thinking about?
I have started to sort of test out a few jokes that I wrote recently. So it's happening. It's happening more than it has been in recent months. Um, I feel like my entire life is a writing process right now because I'm trying to write jokes, I'm trying to write a dissertation, I'm trying to write papers. Everything's writing.
Mm. It is very funny because everything becomes writing, especially for you. Like one of your goals
Hmm.
is to be like a part of the writing room, and yes, I remember things. Um, so like it's a weird prep for
Hmm.
you because like say if you go start going like whenever you are free to do mics and stuff,
Hmm.
like helping like having writing down jokes that people say and like helping them with like punches and stuff will
Hmm.
be your like beginnings of like the writer room of it. It is hard even for myself. Like my best way of being like I'm thinking of ideas is like working out.
Hmm.
And the only other time I think about like writing is when I'm watching shows or like watching other people perform. Cause I'm like, oh, that's how they win it. And it's hard because like I should be watching more like stand ups, like specials. But I'm also like,
Hmm.
they did that for a year or two while we're doing it on a local level. We thought of this joke this week, this month, this
Hmm.
last 2 or 3 months, and now we're trying our best to like develop our bone.
Right.
Doesn't always feel the same freshness sometimes. Because like the
No.
jokes sometimes are dated too, and it's not on
Hmm.
purpose, but it's just the truth.
Right.
I'm not talking about no special though.
Yeah.
Yay! Um, you are from Boston originally.
Yes.
How's your life been in North Carolina?
So I say I'm from Boston because I'm actually from Peabody, Massachusetts, on the North Shore, right next to
Oh,
Salem.
Massachusetts.
I say I'm from Boston because people don't usually know any geography in Massachusetts, so it's like the closest major city. But yeah, I'm
Mm.
from Massachusetts. North Carolina has grown on me more than I expected it to. It was not my first choice. I'm here solely because of graduate school. I would not have come here on my own if it were for any other reason. but it's
It cut
grown on
out.
me. I did not expect it to like
Say
it.
it again.
Oh, sorry. What part?
Oh, it's grown on you, but it had cut out.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. North
It is
Carolina's grown on
funny.
me.
Yeah, the city doesn't like you talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yay! How do you feel? How is your comedy scene? Because we are technically almost the same. Like you're low key a part of the Greensboro comedy scene, but at the
Yeah.
same time, you are a part of the Durham Raleigh area. How do you feel your
Right.
growing pains of going over there? No
I don't.
drama, just the
No
positives.
drama. Just I don't really feel like I'm in it right now because I did sort of take some time and stepped away, especially through September, because I had to sort of settle into my school year, and that's my number one priority, regardless of what comedy's doing. So
Mm,
I'm starting to try to get back into it now. So I've been going to mics more frequently, and it's like going back to school after a vacation in the middle of the school year because everyone's there, but I
yeah.
haven't seen them in a while. And they're like, "Oh, Pamela, it's you." So it's fine. I think I if keep it between us. I know it's a podcast, but it's a secret. I really, really enjoy the Greensboro comedy scene a lot. I think
Really?
there's just
Yay!
a
Thank you.
yeah. I think there's just a sense of community that we're lacking over here on this side of the whatever it is that divides the triangle
I
and the
feel
triad.
it is very funny that that happens. I don't know. I was told of what had kind of occurred. And it
Mm-hmm.
was like most of your senior like comics that were like making it and like helping y'all through all left.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh,
I can see that.
that does not benefit. It doesn't benefit you because you have some people that
No.
may be still around, but more and more of the people that like have done it for a while are moving into like Georgia
Yeah.
or New York or maybe even
Mm-hmm.
Chicago or going to LA.
Yeah.
You know, making it, and it's like how you have. Well, at least you have a mentor that
Right.
does help.
Yeah. I feel like I mean I've only been in it for a year, so I don't know if I have the best like long term perspective on it, but it just doesn't feel like as tight as it could be.
It can get anything can get tighter. I think it's kind of also the only thing I can say probably like outside looking in is that I don't know if Durham has
Mm-hmm.
its own comedy club compared to at least Raleigh has. It's funny that
Mm-hmm.
Raleigh has three different comedy clubs. That is very odd to me because I was
Mm-hmm.
like I saw Thursday had like comedy works has a mic. I was
Mm-hmm.
like, it's a mic there too. I was like, I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was just improv. So now it
Right.
has. So that's so like, oh, they'll do shows at Comedy Works as well soon.
Right.
So now you have Comedy Works, you
Yeah.
have the Raleigh Improv that's in Cary, but the Raleigh
Mm-hmm.
Improv, and
Right.
you also have Good Nights, but the
Right.
location moved.
Right.
So like technically, when you started comedy, Good Nights was always supposed to be leaving the
Mm-hmm.
location that it was iconically at,
Yeah.
and there's a temporary location on Tuesdays that you can go, but it's also like this is temporary.
Right.
What we doing? Like you can't feel your like groundings here, and like
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a comedy club, so it's weird. It feels so good because people work with you, and like senior
Mm-hmm.
comics help us. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, you're getting. I don't know how. I do not. I cannot tell anyone. Like I'm really grateful because I'm not gonna lie. I tell you, I've said this before on here. It's a mecca, but the problem
Yeah.
with the mecca is that it's also a mecca. It's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
damn comics.
Right.
The pandemic happened. People were like, I'm funny, and half the people are like, no. And the other half, like you, were like, I'm funny, I'm strong. And then you did this straight thing that no one else has done. That was like, I'm gonna go to the mic. You wrote for 6 months before you even went to the mic. You were
Yes.
like, I got thoughts. But also, no, I'm gonna write my thoughts down. So people
Right.
heard like your polishness probably. And then like you've got on showcases and shows so fast. Like the grind
I
is
think
real. I'm proud of you.
within like
That's
two
really
weeks of
amazing.
doing my first mic. Thank you. Yeah, within like 2 weeks of my first mic, I was on a show.
And that's what's so amazing. It's kind of funny because I wish the pandemic didn't happen because I was
Mm-hmm.
like a part of a showcase first, and then I did mics. So like I learned like the like how to do things, and then it was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, mics.
Yeah.
Oh, do the mics. You'll learn more. Go do
Yeah.
those mics. And the funny part about it, like that's what I did first. I went to an open mic, and I was nervous, but I was like, let me see what the scene is like. And I was like, oh, I'm
Right.
playing these people. And I'm not like saying anything bad about people because, off nights happen any night. But in the day, like for even last few weeks, I've been like trying my best to make sure I go to 4 nights a week to like, and it's like the
Ooh,
part of the culture, but it's also like, yeah, I'm not proud of like some of this is.
that's a lot of mics per
Sometimes
week.
it's like, my it, yeah, but I'm not like I ain't got nothing else to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best to be strong for some time. I was like, I gotta get to 10. I gotta get my 20. I gotta get a stronger 20. I gotta
Yeah.
get a stronger 30. Like I'm trying my best to get my goals for a good 30, a good
For
20,
sure.
and have separate 20s that I can perform different
Mhm.
places and have clean sets.
Mhm.
Just working clean things interesting. I mean, because it's like you're a natural vernacular and everything that you talk about is so like broad and strong. You naturally have
Mhm.
like a natural insight that helps most women. You have your inkling like the writing room will work for you strong because at least your viewpoint isn't narrow minded. It's broadened, so
Mhm.
you think of what general people would think about.
Mhm.
That's a major thing. I don't know. I watch so many sitcoms. I'm always like, who is this joke for?
Right.
You can't watch that nanny and be like, all right, this really was mainly for white people and Jewish people.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where are the blacks? Who's to laugh at, Fran? The Fran.
Where are they?
Where are the blacks, Fran? And it's inclusion such a funny thing because
Mhm.
as a black man and as an Afro Latino as yourself, you don't always feel seen sometimes in the
Mhm.
media or also in shows.
Right.
Like, what show have you like? What show did you growing up watching that you were like,
Oh
maybe
gosh.
look at me?
My So if we're talking like childhood, my show was That's So Raven. Like that was my
Really?
show. Yeah.
Have you ever heard a show called Taina?
I heard of it, but I never saw it because I think it
Okay,
was like a little too early for me. I was like too young when it was on still to like be a TV watcher.
you're a little bit younger than me, and Taina
Yeah.
happened when I was like maybe I think 10 or 11. So
Yeah.
it was on Nickelodeon. They had 1 or 2 seasons, and she was at a performing. She was at a performing arts high school,
Mhm.
and it's like Taina. It was on Nickelodeon, and Nickelodeon does things where they're like, "This will work, that won't work," and
Right.
it was so diverse though. Like,
So yeah,
she
I've
was
heard of it,
Latin,
and
the whole family was Latin.
yeah,
Yeah,
I've
it
been
is
wanting
very
to
funny.
actually. Was it okay? I've been wanting to find like old episodes to watch it because I never seen it, but I've heard about it. So I
So
wonder if it's
like
on the internet.
shows, yeah, the shows like Taina's on YouTube, but
Oh,
like, woo, don't forget quality TV
yeah.
then. So
Okay.
you like it's grainy as hell. You
Yeah.
like, and it's still dated TV. So you like, oh, yes. At least and then she
Yeah.
has Abuelo, and she has an. I was like, all right, it has. I was like, come on with the say song. It has something. I know
Okay.
just a little bit.
Good to
And,
know. I'll have to look it up.
but the only other show like I saw like that was like my brother Garcia,
Hmm.
brother Garcia.
Oh, never heard of that
Have you ever
one.
seen? Okay, Nickelodeon just wasn't part of your life, was it? You
I was a Disney
you just
Channel
first.
girl.
Oh, I was Disney, but like Nickelodeon was my heart cause of
Mm,
Rugrats,
yeah.
and then like they had all that. So
Yeah.
and they had my brother and me. My brother and me was this one show that was only on for 1 year, and then
Hmm.
the funny part about it, my brother and me was filmed in North Carolina, and then they
Oh.
had Gullah Gullah Island, which is in South Carolina. It is. If you ever Google the song "Gullah Gullah Island," it's a bop. You be like, "Oh shit, come
Okay.
and come play together." You be like, "All right, let's all go to Gullah Gullah Island." And they got Benny Benny. You be like, "Okay, they taught us about frogs. Who knew?" Well, we developed part of our childhood. That's a Raven. I really love That's So Raven, and now they have Raven's Home, and now they're trying
Hmm.
to go back to like the roots of it all. And I'm like, all right. Too bad y'all won't let Orlando Brown come on though.
Ooh. Yeah. They're gonna have to make up a story for him.
That poor man. I feel bad because like I do not think he's ever lied to what he said. He's manic,
Yeah.
like Kanye West is manic, but like he's on his medicine, and he's never been like lying about his truth. It's like I don't know. I think he's been telling us the just truth. I
Mm-hmm.
think him and Raven may have had sex, but Raven's like, I'm gay now. What we doing?
Right.
Since we're doing this with non-breaks, I
Right.
would probably like, let's take a break and come back, but that won't work because it's a lot of recording. What's one of your favorite rom-coms?
Oh, I have so many. People don't actually realize this about me, but I'm a rom com person. Um, and I feel
Honestly,
like,
I think I've already knew that about you, but I kind of like, I sensed it,
yeah, I
but
think we've
like
talked
some of
about
your
it too at one
jokes.
point. I think we talked about it at one point, but I'm a rom com person. There's so
Okay.
many that I like. I went through a phase between like 13 and 16 where I would go to the library and check out DVDs and and watch all of the rom coms.
Oh, you did it in the most nerdiest way I've ever heard. I didn't go to Blockbuster because that wasn't existing then. I went to the
No.
library. Better.
Yeah.
It's free.
Support your local library.
Support your local library. You better help them out. You get a dissertation coming out. I pay the library too much. No. Come on. Be with me.
Okay, so some favorite rom coms. 13 Going on 30, I think is a classic.
It is a classic.
My big, mm-hmm, my Big Fat Greek Wedding is a favorite.
Really?
I really like it. Yeah, I really like it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, now I'm blanking, which I feel like is bad. There's just so many that I've seen. And
That's not
watched.
bad. It's very normal. It's like at least it's about 2,000
like
to 5,000
anything anything
rom-coms.
Sandra Bullock has been in.
Do you
Like,
want to do?
point
I mean,
blank.
I'm down. If you just name one, and I can go with that because my Big Greek Wedding
Uh-huh.
is such a cult classic to me.
Let's go with that one. My Big
It
Fat Greek
starts
Wedding.
off. Okay, I would have done the first one, but I was like 13 going to 30. I was like, there's some issues. I was like, don't you let this
Yeah.
bitch like rule your life. I was like, this is not smart. No. But my Greek Wedding, it's funny because it's so perfectly set in the 90s or the early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
And when I say like, oh, it's full on early 2000s. Big ass computer, and she starts fixing her life, dressing
Yep.
sexy. But the whole thing is Greek. So
Yep.
it's kind of gives you this like new atmosphere of what life looks like there.
Yeah.
And then she meets the sexy. I forgot his name.
Ian Miller.
The only reason I know of him.
Ian Miller.
That's not his name.
Yes, it is. That's the character's name, Ian Miller.
Oh, Ian Miller. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so she meets Ian Miller. I was looking at the actor. I was like, okay,
Oh,
she meets
John
Ian
Corbett.
Miller. John. I was like, oh, that's
Yeah.
that's not the actor's name. I was like, Sex in the City. I would never.
John Corbett. He was in Sex
John
and the City.
Corbett.
And he played
Yeah,
Ian Miller in My
most-
Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Yeah, and she meets him, and he already likes her as is, which is
Right.
so sweet because as she changed, he still just likes her more and more, just as is though. And then like they do a very like sweet gesture because like one cousin's gay, but I was like, I mean,
But we don't find
okay.
out until the sequel.
Oh, we found out to the sequel.
Yeah.
All right, so everyone's a douche. Like all the cousins are douchebags, okay?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
all the ways you've heard about Italians, that's how most of the Greeks are as well. And then they have this like one cousin that's pushy with big tits, and you're like, all right. And then they have all the aunties.
Uh-huh.
My one of my favorite things is the auntie that's hilarious. Both movies. This time old timers and everything in the second one, but the first one I was like, this is iconic.
Yeah.
And then like the wedding, her getting wet, it's so good, and it's like such a pushy movie.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like into it. It's one of those like standalone movies where it's not really comparable.
Yeah.
Oh, what's your favorite part about it? What's your favorite scene?
So I don't know for that I have a favorite scene. I truly enjoy the whole thing. I think probably the scene where she's bringing her boyfriend's parents to meet her family, and she thinks it's just going to be like a dinner with her parents, but the whole entire extended family is there. That's hilarious.
Yeah, his parents are, and then the thing is, his parents are wives, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh,
Yeah.
they were never ready for this.
No, they weren't. But
They were.
what I like about the entire movie, or what I related to when I first watched it when I was like 12 or 13, was that it was the first movie where I saw a massive immigrant family that reminded me of mine. And even though they're
Ooh.
from Greece, even though they're from Europe, and it's kind of a way different sort of social circumstance, the obnoxious extended family and the hovering parents and the expectations for relationships and marriage and what that's supposed to look like reminded me so much of my family and my upbringing and the expectations that I had. So I really related to it on that level, which is, I think, why it holds such a special spot in my heart.
Yeah, I relate to that before, like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. The whole 2 years being with the person I'm with, my family asks so many questions about them, and like anytime I visit my family, because COVID happened, so like now I'm kind of off the hook for some stuff.
Yeah.
Like Thanksgiving, we don't got to do that. COVID. Now COVID's like mostly gone, so we're like, COVID, come on, where your guy at? I'm like, oh, like they didn't know where it was at. So my like I don't know, they thought I was in Maine, like the state Maine, and I was like, no, he's not in Maine. They were like going up there prying that hard. And I was like, if he comes and sees all of you people, y'all will scare him off. We are not doing that. It's my parents first.
Right.
And then maybe siblings.
Right.
But no, y'all. That's wild. Who
Right.
that? And they'd be like, yeah, I want me to, man. I was like, this is what we doing.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But don't worry. Don't worry. We'll do that to you, though. Oh,
Is that going well?
So, oh yeah, it's sweet. It's really funny. Oh yeah, one of his episodes, my sister really went off about him. I was like, all right, I don't talk about your dude this way.
Right.
It's weird when people just want to defend your honor. You're like, oh, that's so sweet. Go ahead. Yeah. Oh. So let's talk about what you're in school for, which is.
Sure.
What are you getting your doctorate in?
Yeah, I'm doing a PhD in sociology. And my areas of concentration within that, because sociology is very broad, I study sociology of race and ethnicity and identity, essentially, and organizational sociology. So those are my two specialties, sort of.
That's amazing, because you're also like I think the cusp of the end of millennials, and what you just described is fully Gen Z. Not full on like, and that what a Gen Z person thinks, but mainly, which is really cool to learn everything about people. But something that as like a thought process that you want more people to face. Like, if you can, all the listeners, any listener, to broaden their like horoscopes. What is something that the future doctor will tell people to think like?
Goodness. Probably just that I think we have a habit as people to think that where we are in our particular lives or where we are in our particular towns is everything. Like, that microcosm represents everything that exists in the world, and it really doesn't. Like, there is more out there. It's a big world. There's more perspectives. There's more everything than you could possibly imagine in your own little microcosm. And I think something that people struggle with is thinking outside of what they consider to be normal, or thinking outside of what they consider to be normative and what they consider to be the world. So just don't be afraid to step outside of your own little boundary and microcosm. Like, see what's out there, explore what's out there, ask questions.
It's just funny because you stepped out of yourself. Now it's been over a year of you stepping out of yourself from wherever you were before in performing from, because you have an improv background, and you've now been a comic, like a legit comic for over a year. How do you feel that applies to stand-up?
I think there's actually a lot of overlap between sociology and stand-up comedy, and that's something I kind of want to build on as I continue to grow in both. Because
Mm-hmm.
all it is social observation. All I do as a sociologist is make social observations and write about them. All I do as someone
Really?
who does
That's
comedy
amazing.
is make social observations and talk about them on stage. The only difference is that in sociology, you back up your observations with research, which you don't do in stand-up comedy to the same extent. But it's
You
all
do
it.
that with stand up, actually.
Yeah,
You actually you do it. You do it with stand up, especially because this is your viewpoint. Your viewpoint is the research,
yeah, yeah.
and then to back up the things is the reasons why it works. So
Mm-hmm.
someone will be like, "Oh, y'all don't believe me? You don't believe that some guys want to check me out?" When I got on stage, 2 or 3 dudes, I promise you, looked at my ass so hard till I turned around. Nate, come on, see, he was looking at my ass, and that's like the light version of what you could probably talk about.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's normal. I don't always go dirty on here because it's really funny. This is the oddest thing that I'm like doing is because
Yeah.
like I low key my mic is so small,
Uh-huh.
but like I'm like stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. But I'm also like, all right, guys, these are my thoughts, these are my feelings, this is the world, we are
Yeah.
the moment.
We are the moment.
Also, since you are the moment for this episode, have you been? What's something that you've been like so happy that occurred in your life recently? The last 5 years,
So
especially.
happy. Oh, the last 5 years especially. Ooh, that's a lot has
I
happened
mean,
in the last 5 years.
well, it's look. I told you before. Many moments matter, so it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
something major. It just something has to be something about life that you're like, ooh, I was the moment today,
Okay.
or
Oh,
this
I
was
don't
the
know.
moment. Thank God for
This
that
was the
moment.
moment.
This was
I
the moment.
I am almost in a weird way. Obviously, it was a tough time for a lot of people. There was a lot of, you know, death and disease and whatnot. But I'm kind
You
of
were
grateful
grateful.
for pandemic. Um, and
I understand why.
like on a personal level, I'm grateful for the time that I was able to quarantine and just like be with my own thoughts for a year to a year and a half. Because so much of where I am now today would not have happened if I hadn't had to shut the world out for a year and
Yeah.
process who I was and where I wanted to go.
Which is normal.
Yeah.
I think it helps so many people. It's very funny that I talked about this probably in my last 2 episodes, and it's probably going to be something that a lot of people naturally will talk about. COVID was a reset for people in so many different ways. Because, like, for you, you probably on go mode naturally, especially with being like, as a person, like, you're a very, like, astute person, but I also see that you were a full on go getter. So, old you probably was like, nope, gotta get the assignments done. And, like, you probably breathe more now than you ever have before. And it's just natural that you will now be like, oh, enjoy things, have some wine, relax. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
A year and a half.
I was 100% about school and only school and about getting my work done pre-COVID. Like I was just 24/7 to school, worked through the weekends. That's all I ever did. And what I realized when the world shut down was that I was very, very burnt out. And so I had to spend, it ended up being about 2 years working through my burnout and realizing that I had to restructure things in my life and build in time for rest and build in time for fun and get back to doing the things that I enjoyed, or I wasn't going to be able to make it through school because I was burnt out as hell.
Yeah. And that's normal, which is so, it's really kind of crazy. It's really wild because people don't realize the burnout occurs. It's just because we are American.
Yeah.
So, and you're probably, I don't know if your parents have degrees. I don't know that. You're very astute. Maybe they both do. But wherever
They
you
don't,
are,
actually.
you want to make them proud.
I said they don't actually.
They do?
I'm a first gen college student and grad student.
See? So, like, that's a lot of pressure that you add on
Yeah.
yourself naturally every day.
For sure.
And you were like, all right, I gotta prove them. And it's hard because people don't realize, like, you had a breakthrough. And that's amazing to have a breakthrough moment. It is hard because, like, I realized this. I just recently found out, like, oh shit, I was sleepwalking at my job the whole time. I've been hateful.
Yeah.
I did this for the last 13 years, and I hate my job. I guess I need to do something better that I will like. It's funny because we get to do something we're excited about. Like, you're from in front of strangers and have your own, like, astute life, and they get to hear your perspective, and they pay for it. They pay for your perspective, or they're here for your perspective, and they're here for 5 to 10 to 20 minutes. You're at the moment where you probably have 25 minutes to 30. So up to 30 minutes of your life story, they're hearing at a time. And it's like, you paid to see me as a creative, and my thought process, my wild takes, my little beef with someone that I admire as well, whatever it is about me. And it's like, it's so freeing. What we get to do on as like a stand-up is so freeing.
It's so freeing.
But at the same time, it's so freeing. And like afterwards, you're like, did I just have 10 cigarettes? Okay, so we're going through those moments. All right, we've kind of, I discussed it lightly. What's one of your favorite moments with me?
Oh gosh, you were talking about this earlier, but I vividly remember the first time we met. It was in Burlington. It was at Front Street Cafe. We were both on that showcase. You performed like 2 or 3 spots before me, and it was so funny. And then I went near the end, and afterwards we just talked and had a full conversation. I think standing inside and then outside. And then I just love these little chats that we have after shows and after mics at the Idiot Box and places like that. I always enjoy them.
Yeah, I enjoy them too. It is really fun to have a friendship. We're so far away.
I know.
We be so close. They're like, oh, North Carolina, it's not that. It's far. Like I'm out. You're only an hour away, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, if I go there, and at the moment, you're very, you're astute. You're a very studious person, It's like, all right, so if I come to her apartment while she's busy doing her job, that's not smart right now. I could probably
I can't believe you're doing 4 mics a week. One of the reasons I'm not out in Greensboro as much as I want to be is because it's far, and during the school year, it's hard to do that drive on a school night, and when I have to be on campus at 8 a.m. the next day.
I know, and I feel bad because I'm trying my best to get out there and reach out to people as well.
Yeah.
Like I got booked on a show, like on a Zoom one, and for someone to chat, people were like, "Oh, you really?" Funny? I was like, "Oh, I come out here from time to time."
Yeah.
Because we were also on a mic for Tori's, the milk mic, I think.
Yeah.
But you also left early for that one, and I was like, "Oh, yay!" But you've seen me before. It's okay. You got school. Go ahead, friend. Yeah. But at the same time, like that's one of the first time I've ever did that mic. Well, it was like a showcase technically, but it was still such a fun one because it was women. Like there was a women mic. Well, men can come too, and I was like, I'm down. I'm grateful. Yay! Yeah. Thanks so much. Oh, I love Tori. It's such a funny comic, but it's really amazing. Like the growth you have, the way you tell stories is so strong. Oh, it's like. Anyone that's listening that does not know, like, I always tell people, like, come out to see certain people. You're one of those people, I'm like, yes, she's on the show? Oh, I'm going to have fun. I'm always excited because your perspective is so, like, because, you're very smart, but also, like, you're astute. And then you also have your song, and also, you're also black. So I'm like, ooh, she has some little Laurie in her. Go ahead. It's going to be different. And I love it.
Yeah.
You want to talk about your background?
Sure.
You're welcome. What is the makeup of the Pamela?
So I'm Dominican. I was born in the Dominican Republic. And I came to the U.S. when I was 4 or 5-ish. Grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm like, my context for like living in the U.S. is New England, the Northeast, and I've only just moved to the South in 2018 to North Carolina. So,
you have moved for 4 years? Oh, wow.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years. It's going to be 5 years next year, I think. Dominican, Afro-Latina, a Black Latina woman. A lot of people think you can't be both, but you can. And yeah.
I don't know. I feel like that's funny to tell people. Afro-Latina is a funny, like, spectrum to be Black and Latina, and Latina. I just think it's normal because,
Yeah,
like, to be black is just it's your own experiences.
yeah, absolutely.
Latin America is iconic because y'all proud. We proud to be black, but that's about it. Like, I'm proud. I'm cool with the gayness I am, but like, I'm also like, I mean, I'm gay. What are we doing? I did a pride,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, yes, but also I was like, secretly, I just want a husband. What? Like,
Mood.
too much, too much. Like, I'm proud to be American. I got some views. I got some takes, like hot takes, hot
Oh
takes.
yeah, always got hot takes.
But I got hot takes, hot takes. Well, we talked about several moments. What is a moment that you're kind of like looking forward to, other than graduation?
Oh, well, you okay? Can't talk about graduation because that's the biggest one.
Yeah, it's funny to tell people those
Yeah,
monumental moments naturally
yeah.
click in your head, like wedding, yeah,
No, Lord.
graduation, for like especially for you. I'm like, oh yeah, you getting a
Oh,
doctorate.
I get so emotional thinking about my graduation, and it's like a year and a half away still. And I'm already like getting emotional about it, so I know it's going to be a big month.
Ooh.
But a moment
So,
that I'm looking forward to right now, and it's again a smaller moment, but all moments matter, is I'm going home to this year. I always go home for winter break, and this year I'm leaving early enough that I'm a Sag. My birthday's in December, so I'm leaving early
oh, happy
enough.
birthday!
Thank you. I'm leaving early enough that I'll be able to spend my birthday with my family, and I
Yay!
haven't spent a birthday with my family in years, and I've always wanted to, and it's never been able to work out. But I'm spending my birthday with my family this year, and I'm very
Oh,
excited.
oh, oh, familiar. I'm trying my best not to do this the whole time. People are gonna be
Yeah.
like, his ass is black. Why is he doing this to her? Look, it helps us both. Makes me feel
It
like
does.
she understands the comfort. But also, it is really major. Most of
Yeah.
like my last three birthdays have all been so weirdly different.
Mm-hmm.
2020, turned 30.
Yeah.
Guess how I turned 30? Five guys in lockdown.
Mm.
2021, I got the vaccination. Why? For dick. And also, well, I mean that.
It's the best reason to get a
I
vaccination.
went to go see my guy. I was like, oh no, I will see you on my birthday. You gonna spend
Right.
time with me for my birthday, baby. And
Yeah.
then this year, current year, I did improv, and afterwards, I went
Okay.
out with my sister and my brother to a
Uh huh.
seafood restaurant. And
Okay.
since my jokes are dirty, my sister was like, "Blow out your candle. You know how to blow." And I was like, "Wow, the disrespect."
Wow. She just called you
Wow.
out.
I know, Marshall. Can't stand her. Really?
Just just put you on blast like that.
I mean, really? I was like, these strangers do not even know my material. I'm a fluffy. Don't do this to me.
The disrespect.
The disrespect. The disrespect. Um, what is a moment that you want to create for your scene? So I know that you're not a stranger to really creating your own thing. You last month, I can talk about this. This is last month. You did a arm wrestle competition, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun.
Mm-hmm.
What's a showcase or a show which you idea that you kind of want to do?
Oh, I don't know. I've flirted with the idea of creating my own show to put on, but I haven't gotten that far or committed yet. But I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I don't have anything that
No,
I'd
no,
like to
no.
create off the
Let's
top
put
of
it
my
out
head.
there now. It's a feature moment, so we're putting it out there. So when you listen back to your own thing, in case you're neurotic like me, I just call myself out. But yeah, it's a showcase idea that you want? Would you want six comics? Would you want three comics? Would you want a full on roster of like maybe 10?
No, so I'm a fan of fewer comics doing more time. So
Okay,
I would do like five or fewer on a show.
five or few. Okay, so five or few. All right.
Yeah,
Okay, we got that.
like 3 to 5.
Let's make it poppin', poppin', poppin'. All right, 3 to 5. All right. What is your podcast one more time?
My podcast is Social Deconstruction with Pamela Zabala.
So we're having the destruction. comedy hour or a comedy, the destruction,
Oh, the
destruction
deconstruction
showcase.
comedy hour.
The destruction. There we go.
Okay.
Boom. Got the name. And then you have a roster. You have a full-on roster. And this is funny because I'm like low-key just doing this because this will help you in the future. People are like, why is he doing this? It's like, because friendship works both on and off air. So that will happen. Where will be the first time? What's the favorite, like, in the next year? We're not doing this year because we got 2 months. So what's the best time that you want to do it?
The best time, like it's the best time of week?
Nope, it's not about the week. It's about the seasons, the day, what month, those.
I'm a fall girl. I like the fall, so fall.
We're not going to wait that long. We got to do it sooner.
Darn. Spring, maybe
you got
then?
winter, spring, summer. We got to do this like 2 to 3. We got to make you, we got to, I told you, we got to do this.
Spring then, because
with the moment. We're monumental moments. We're creating monumental moments right now. Like, we're making your show happen. We're making your showcase pop with your 3 to 5 people.
Probably spring then.
I'm Loki. Spring. All right, cool. That sounds good. Okay, so your spring break starts when?
I think it's in March.
Oh, so it's happening in March. So we have till March. And we just have to figure out the venue. I know, I really like sneaked into Sneak Attack this and
you
I
really
feel like but I'm smart.
Imagine you out here planning a whole show. Oh Lord.
Like I'm a show producer and like, I don't know, it's her show.
Yeah.
Jermaine, what are we doing? Shh, show. Come here. This is what we'll do. We're gonna do this, and this.
Yeah.
It's our show. It's your show. Yeah. Yeah. And then we could do it like, you. We're gonna do it like the spring and then the summer and then in the fall, and then if it's really good and you have time, we'll do it in the winter too. Corridor shows works the best for like busy people. Yeah. I know. That's why.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, like I know weekly shows are different because people like it's every week.
Yeah.
So you want people to come in every week?
Right.
Huh. Then the crowd be tired of us, friend.
Yeah. I like a monthly
it's always
show.
Us. A monthly show works because we have Nick Cha-Cha show to be like, every time's a turnout.
Right.
And it's really amazing because people get to create a room in the space. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. I'm so excited for your future show.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I talked about this on Tara. I'm low-key a bully. I'm a bully with cookies. I'm like, oh, look at you. That's always the plan. Several moments happen. Secretly, yes. Because, I can't wait to do your podcast as well. I can't wait to be on. I'm so serious. Like, oh, yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I need to...
Because we have a different...
I was just saying I need to start getting that together and start planning.
Oh, that's normal. Oh, the show or the podcast?
The podcast.
Oh, wow. You ask probably certain questions, don't you?
Yeah.
I had a feeling.
Yeah.
It's very funny because, I'm free. This is just free going because, it's friends and it's adding people to our conversation. Because some of these people don't know what comedy is, anything like that. But I wanted them to understand, some of the structure. I'm not telling people's jokes. I know a lot of people's material because it's no, I listen strongly. I have a strong memory. Right. I'm trained for marriage.
Right.
I got to know stuff about that man. What he likes. I got to cook for that man. I got to suck that man's penis. I got to know things about that man.
Oh, Lord.
Too far? It is amazing. I'm very excited for your future. What is, we're wrapping up, but we don't have to. What's one of your dream jobs that you still want to do? What's a dream goal for yourself?
Oh.
If this happened, this would be the absolute moment.
Oh, I don't know. I would love to be able to combine my sort of artistic pursuits and comedy and performing and writing for that with my academic pursuits. So be able to talk about my research and be able to talk about sociology in a way that like the public understands. Because I think people sometimes we're taught to write so that only other PhDs can read what we do. But I think it'd be cool to break down that knowledge so that everyone can understand it and participate in the creation of that knowledge.
That is true. I listened to Ratchet and Respectful, Demetria Lewis, and she brought on so many like fairly like esteemed black colleagues that help her like with her writing. These are like people that are from like Essence. That was from Essence for a while, and to see like them talking about their tenure and talking about starting their back and getting their degrees. It is a shock because you're like, you have to do so much.
Yeah.
One woman wrote a book, and that's a lot of people's like how they have their dissertation. They dissertate the book as like his own like standpoint. And I'm always like, that's amazing, but I'm also like, that must be hell. Yeah. I don't know what you're going through. I was like, that must be a lot. And then you want to also like include the public into like the normacies of like stuff that my crazy ass has to commute. That will help us a lot.
Yeah.
But I will say, one of my goals I was gonna like have you try to be able to talk about for yourself is like actually wanting to go into a writer's room, because like I know I feel it on my bone is happening within the next year or two. That like once you graduate, especially if you do one of those things, like I feel like with you, I don't really know too much about your profession that you're going to embark upon, but I do feel as though like if you could be a part of a 6 months or 3 months process where you can be in a room with some like with 6 to 10 people and not and then learn that way. It's like to me you're ready. And it's funny because I'm almost like, I think you wrote a book already, haven't you?
No.
You have a book out already?
No.
Oh, just making sure.
No, not yet.
Look, I'm projecting so hard for your future. I love this.
You're manifesting so hard right now.
I am. I really am. I'm big about these things. It's funny because like what you do, I'm so admired and so enamored with you because like you're so strongly. You're welcome. I'm glad that you're allowing yourself to have these compliments. It is hard because a lot of people don't like to embrace that you're, the moment and like you're monumental as is. I know I embarrass people easily with that, but it's because it's the thing about being humble enough. Like you're the shit, so it's just the truth. But it's also amazing because like I can see the steps you're going to be making soon, and it's so amazing.
Yeah. Like,
you being a part of writer rooms, you, like, maybe you'll create your own, like, series. And I've always, like, well, what do you, because I know you do sketches now, like, you're writing sketches, and I know you're part of improv, like, an improv troupe. So I'm like, all right, well, then your next step is to write a screenplay.
Right.
Are you ready?
Maybe. I accept this manifestation that you're doing on my behalf.
You're welcome. I know it's a lot that I'm doing, and it's really funny.
Just laying out my whole future.
You are. Yes, the goal. You have to do those things for each other. Like if you call me up and say, "Man, I just thought about this. I think it's time for you to start acting." I'll be like, "All right, send me the roles, friend. I got this idea." Right. You want to do voiceover work? I'm like, down, okay. All right, now go get the soundproof rooms and we can do this, man. All right. Like, cool. That's kind of how it goes. It's very funny because, like, UCB was a big deal, and North Carolina doesn't have its own UCB. We have versions of it. I think Comedy Works is its own version, technically. Like, it technically has the kind of, like, groundings of it. And so it's like Second City. But most of the people that from UCB that were there for like last 5 or 10 years are on our TV screens now. And so it's like, people from the Chicago scene as well. So like, even though we don't seem like it, North Carolina comedy scene, they'll just come here. Like, we have grassroots and we know what comedy is. So when people tour and come here, they know we don't tell them the truth. A lot of people test North Carolina out for everything. Like you saw Lizzo. I saw Ariana Lennox. I saw Ari Lennox here, And it was funny because see, Ari Lennox was just their first album compared to where she was going to go to. I've seen like Gary Hart Jr. twice. The first time I saw it was standing room only. The second time I saw it was like I'm sitting down. I'm like,
Yeah.
thank God they're sitting. But seeing concerts helps because it also is like we're going to do that soon too. Imagine having standing room only where people just watch you just perform your 30 minutes, your hour and a half of just you being all you. Like it could be any version of you. It could be you stand up. You as a stand up. It could be you as a sketcher, like you with your sketches. It could be you as just all these ideas that you have for form. It's amazing that thought process is. Our dreams are endless because we're the shit.
Yeah, true.
I just wanted to say that.
Thank you. I receive it and I throw it back at you.
Thank you. I love it. Since you are the moment. One of the moments, part of your moments that you are as a person is that you have been one of the people that I've seen a lot of times on showcases when it comes to Raleigh, it comes to Durham. You also need to show people where you're going to be at. And this is really funny because people get to pick this episode up periodically. So where will they see you if you are like back in it, the scene of the scenes? What mics could you be at this week?
So you can catch me at usually the Good Nights mic. You can catch me at House of Art in Raleigh on Thursday nights. You can catch me at Divines in Durham on Mondays usually. Yeah, those are usually my spots. And it's more than that in the summer, but during the school year, that's where I am.
Okay, but all right, but we gotta let's clean this back up. So on Mondays, they can find you
at Divines in Durham.
Tuesdays, they can find you
at Good Nights usually.
Thursday,
House of Art in Raleigh.
Yay! The reason why I say that because you threw them out like I was like, okay, well they're not gonna. All right, it's not a. They're not gonna follow this one through. Oh, I've actually wanted to do most of those rooms as well. All these rooms, and I do want to say like I can't wait for you to create your own show with your whole now year and a half of doing comedy now. You now know how show structure goes. Like I know you pay attention really like steadfast. And I know you've hosted as well. So, super proud of you, first and foremost. Amazed. You know. So one of those people I'm like, yes. It's amazing. It's so amazing to see, like, y'all after pandemic kids, when I say y'all were hungry in a different way. And, like, so different, like, several different styles, different, like this is songs in a lot of these in use so strongly because the Latin and the black, the Lowry's in there too. But it's too much. You can't have too much Lowry. I'm just put some pep in there. But to see like comments like you, like your first year is so strong. I compare you to maybe like I'm not even comparing to you, but like you like the Code today, God with dreads.
Yeah.
Just in case.
I know who that is.
But. But I know this, but we're all fluffy people. We should all know each other. All the fluffies should know each other. But like to see your growth is so amazing to me. I'm so proud of you. And okay, so you're also very astute. So we cannot let go of anything. Where can they see your works?
So my publications are available. My website, pamelazabala.com, is usually where I have a list of everything that I've published.
Hey. And one more time, your podcast is called?
Social Deconstruction with Pamela Zabala.
The Social Deconstruction with Pamela Zabala. Yes. Do not forget that. Follow her, listen to the podcast. All her episodes are very strong and very poignant. So do not miss out on the episode.
Don't miss out.
When do the episodes come out?
Ooh. This is a good time for me to manifest a new date for season 2 for myself. So let's say...
Oh, season 1's all done? We're on season 2.
We're on season 2. So I wrapped up season 1 because I really did have to focus on school. And I kind of took a pause on stand-up, put the podcast on the back burner. I'm starting to plan for season 2, which I hope will be back in January.
Oh, yay. All right. That'll work. When is this is really funny because like I won't cut none of this. But your winter break starts when?
Second week of December.
So second week of December till
January 3rd. Till the first week of January.
Okay. And you're gonna go all the way up there, and you just can do like the Riverside app is good. They're not paying me for this, but I would say this may work out the most because it's recording us through video and through the podcast. So like, say if I start my Patreon, because I like money a lot. We just gotta make sure they have good cameras, whoever like you podcast with.
Yeah.
So sounds like you'll be there for a while. Are you gonna check out any like places this time?
Maybe. I usually haven't. I've never done. None of the times I've been home, I haven't done any stand-ups. But this might be the time because I'm gonna be home for longer.
Yay! Last time I pressured you, and I was like, "No, she ain't gonna do it."
No.
But I have faith this time.
Thank you.
It's a different time because I knew probably you were a little bit burnt out even then because it's very funny the additives we have in our lives. Like last year you were starting comedy and you were doing the mics. You probably were like, gotta do these mics, gotta do showcases.
Yeah.
You got booked on so many showcases, so many shows, so many places. And you have a mentor as well that help you out with your writing as well. So it's like, I promise you, at last year you was game busting us out. I was like, oh, go ahead, go, all right. There she go. Okay, that's my friend. Get it.
Yeah.
And you probably like more excited to come back. So as always, embrace every moment. I'm glad that you got to do the moments with me.
Thank you.
I'm glad you got to be part of the moments, and I'm glad you are the
part
moment.
of the moments. This was a moment.
Yay! I told you she was one of the first people. I was like, hey, listen to this. I want you on.
Yeah.
Whenever you're free. I know. We've discussed this before.
No, I'm so glad.
I was
Thank
like, I got a podcast idea. And it's a major thing because you're my third guest, but it's my first way doing this. I'm like testing y'all out so many different ways.
Yeah.
My sister was when I first got the mics. I got my mics and my headphones in. Modulé. That's her code name. That's not a real name. Modulé. It's Modulé. And then Tara, my laptop was dead. So my phone was the whole podcast.
Oh, wow.
And it was like...
Yeah.
Okay. And we were supposed to meet like a few weeks ago at Green Bean. And, you know, you work, you're busy, you're doing everything in life. So this is amazing. Yeah. I'm so honored. Now, the last part of everything is your socials. Where can they find you?
Ooh, okay. Well, if Twitter is alive much longer, I'm on Twitter at pzabala07, and then Instagram is Pamela Zabala, also 07 is my favorite number. And then on TikTok, I'm ohotpam, OHHOTPAM.
Yay! Okay, that's so amazing. I do not know if we have a picture together, and I'm sorry if we don't. I think we have maybe one from the festival.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, maybe, but that's like world of people, so damn. But it's okay. Kelly, Jenna, they'll be all right with that photo.
Yeah.
They'll be on soon.
I'll search for one. I think we do have pictures.
Maybe. I hope so. If not, that's okay. I am so grateful for you to be on this episode. For all those out there, if you are trying to find me or anything like that, Jermaine Cullen on all platforms. I'm shocked that this happened. Don't get shit twisted. On YouTube, my name was not Jermaine Cullen at first. Ooh. No. It was, I was used to be IMJC, and that's how I started my comedy career, technically. I don't tell people all the time, like, yeah, I used to go by a different name. So, just search Jermaine Calando. That's Jermie, Calando, Calando. And do not forget, that's on all platforms except TikTok. That's the Jermaine Experience. And I'm glad that we got to have this experience together. That was also the B name for this podcast. I don't want to lie to y'all, because that may be the name of my show.
I like
next year. Thanks. You were part of the experience.
I did enjoy the experience. It was a lovely experience.
I enjoyed this experience with you as well. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do not say your last name, sort of, but one more time, it's PAPELA Now spell your last name.
Zabala.
Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you can enjoy this moment. It's the weekend now because this is coming out on Friday. I hope that you can have a moment with someone, with friends like mine. Oh, Pamela. Oh, I'm crying.
Oh.
Bye, y'all. It's stopping. It's still not stopping.